Like you go into a series thinking, okay, with the way the Red Sox have been playing, with the way the Yankees have been playing, the Yankees should take 2 out of 3. Again, goes the opposite way. And it's just a frustrating series to watch because they should have done better in this series.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. With me, as usual, my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian.
Yeah, typical Yankees Red Sox.
It's annoying. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to Locked On Yankees on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like our videos, hit the bell so you know when our videos go live. And we have a new TikTok page. If you're there, follow us, if you can, at LockedOn_Yankees. So on today's show, it looks like ABS is coming to the big leagues. We'll tell you when, and we'll tell you what we think about that. It's Minors Monday. We'll tell you what's going on in 3 of the levels, not all of them, but we'll tell you what's going on. But first, I didn't want to be angry about this, but I am, because here's the thing. We talk about how it's a 162 game season, right? A series loss in June, in the grand scheme of things, isn't that big a deal. But with that said, it's the Red Sox. It's a division rival who wasn't doing well or that well heading into the series, and they made you look bad in nearly all 3 games because there were points in the win where it looked like the Red Sox were going to come back on them. And, you know, it looked like Boone pushed the wrong buttons in 2 out of the 3 games.
Shocker.
Guys didn't step up. The bullpen seems to be falling apart, or at least the moves that Boone is making, it seems like the bullpen's falling apart. I'm just completely frustrated, and I'm annoyed that on June 9th, I'm complaining about this series.
Well, listen, since April, the Red Sox are 14-20. Well, now 15-20. They have not played well. They've played well under expectations throughout the year. Remember, coming into the year, I picked them to win the American League East. I think you had them having a very productive year too. And they've been under expectations. They've been underwhelming, the Red Sox. There's no other way to put it. And even Alex Cora said in the meeting before Sunday Night Baseball that, you know, they're not executing when they need to. He was flat out told, you know, called his team out right on the red carpet and was just like, they're not executing, they're not hitting, everything like that. So when you come out and lose the series the way that you lose the series, it is frustrating. Everything about Sunday's game to me was a microcosm of how the series went, though. Yankees played the Red Sox tight, played them early. Yankees got good pitching, and then all of a sudden it blew up in their face. Especially Carlos Rodon's start. Rodon was good. He was really good. He cruised the first 5 innings, and all of a sudden the 6th inning came and he lost it. Or at the end of the 5th inning, lost it. Wasn't able to pitch anymore, gave up the home run, unraveled, and that was it. Just a very frustrating series. And this felt like these 2 series that they're playing this weekend and next weekend feel like opportunities where you could actually potentially not mathematically, but sort of bury the Red Sox and really set them back in the division and really make it a mountain to climb that could somewhat feel insurmountable to them. And you're not taking advantage of that, which is unbelievably frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, you can't complain about the offense too much because they scored a bunch of runs in the series, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about this team. It feels like, I don't know. It feels weird when I watch this team. It feels like they're not up for certain series when they should be. I don't know how to explain it. It's frustrating watching these guys. And it's always like it happened in Saturday's game. They get to within 2. DJ LeMahieu, by the way, you're welcome, because I trashed you and now all you're doing is hitting. Gets them within 2. Ian Hamilton comes in and he had been okay. And then he has the outing he has on Saturday. Then on Sunday, similar situation. They pull within a certain amount of runs, and then Jonathan Loaisiga comes in and defecates on the mound, basically, giving up
and that's-
back-to-back home runs and just killing any chance that the Yankees may have had to maybe chip away and maybe make it like one of those exciting Sunday night walk-off games that you haven't seen in a while. But no,
and that's what's frustrating too, is they didn't have De Los Santos in where they're just trying to eat some innings up. They had Loaizaga in to actually, put up some shutout baseball, and it wasn't possible for him. That's the frustrating part of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just a series that you don't. With the way the Red Sox have played this year, the Yankees have a very comfortable lead in the division. I don't know if Boston's going to catch them. That's not the point, though. The point is you could really bury Boston at this point. And again, not mathematically, but you take an 8-10 game lead at this point in the season. It feels insurmountable. Right. It does.
I mean, it's not, but it feels it.
But you know what, though? You want to give the Red Sox that feeling. You want to give them the feeling of you're not coming back. There's no chance you have here. And instead, by letting them take 2 out of 3 in the Bronx against you, and now you have to go to Boston next weekend, it leaves a very sour taste in your mouth if you're a Yankee fan.
Yep. I basically figured they'd win Friday, lose Saturday, win Sunday. That's what I was thinking in my head. So Saturday's loss, while it annoyed me, and there were certain aspects of it that annoyed me, I just was kind of expecting them to lose that game. I figured they'd lose the middle game. Mm-hmm. But then Sunday happens the way it happens, and it's almost a repeat of Saturday, and you're just like I don't know. I don't normally get this frustrated about June series and with the Red Sox, but it's the first time they played them all year, and it wasn't a good showing. And that's just annoying because, they looked good against Cleveland. They didn't look that great against the Dodgers. They look good against the Rangers. They look pretty good against the Mets. I'll give them the credit for beating the Mets 2 out of 3. The Mets have actually gone on a roll now after losing 2 out of 3 to the Yankees. Yeah. They've gone on a roll. The Phillies have fallen apart. They were just swept by the Pirates over the weekend. Yeah. So, that just shows you how weird baseball is, though, right? Because you don't expect the Phillies to get swept by the Pirates. And that's part of this as well. Like, you go into a series thinking, okay, with the way the Red Sox have been playing, with the way the Yankees have been playing, the Yankees should take 2 out of 3. Again, goes the opposite way. And it's just a frustrating series to watch because they should have done better in this series.
They got even the Will Warren start, though, mm-hmm. right? Like, he gives you 5 innings, and he had the 6 strikeouts, and he looked good at times, but 4 earned. The walks came back to bite him again. He had more walks given up in this game than hits.
Right.
So it just wasn't – they won the game, but he wasn't terrific either.
Right.
So just not a well-played series in them. And they do get Monday off. But overall, I mean, you got to start stringing – again, you lose the game on Saturday, and you kind of expected it going in, and that's one thing. But you can't be losing series like this. This is how teams catch ground on you. Yeah. And, it's only one game the Red Sox caught on the Yankees in this series, but you have to try and bury teams. And now they go to Kansas City, and they play a Royal team that's kind of average, they should be better. And then you get the Red Sox right again next Monday. And the key to this, too, next weekend, the key to this, too, Stacey, the Red Sox somehow managed to avoid Fried in both of these series.
Yeah. The other thing that bothered me about Friday is it felt like Boone should have been a little quicker with Warren. Like that game shouldn't have been as interesting as it became.
Well, especially if you're going to abuse the bullpen like you'd wind up doing on Friday.
Right.
Like with the way they wound up using the bullpen on Friday, and clearly that was a plan because they map all these things out in advance. So if that was your plan all along, why would you not pull the trigger on Warren quicker? If you're going to use the bullpen anyway at that point. Yeah. I understand leaving guys in a little longer if you don't want to get a lot of innings out of the bullpen, but if you're going to do it anyway, why not have a quicker trigger with the young pitcher? A lot of these things, too, with young pitchers like this, too, Stacey, a lot of it's about confidence and keeping guys' confidence up and keeping them – we talk about the modern-day ego of the major league player. Keeping their confidence alive and up is important. And Will Warren's a guy that's pitched with a lot of confidence lately. You want to preserve that and keep that going. And by leaving him in there to walk more guys and give up more runs, it's not good for his confidence. Mistake 2, it looks like as of now, and this isn't confirmed, as of now, it looks like the Yankees could be starting Fried on Sunday. So they actually would be getting him again in the Red Sox series, which is good. Yeah. But that again, those I'm not going to take what I see online yet for a sure starter for Sunday yet because they change this stuff all the time.
I know they can't do this, but I really wish that Rodón was between Warren and Yarbrough, even though I know it's back-to-back, but it would be back-to-back lefties either way because Yarbrough is a lefty. Just because with the two of them, you're not really sure what you're going to get with Rodón. Yes, Sunday night wasn't his best, but he'd been pitching really well, shut down baseball for like 2 months at this point, right? And with the way that the bullpen is right now, it's hard to believe that Luke Weaver is that big a loss, but he really is.
Yeah, it seems like the bullpen also has lost a little bit of swagger with Luke Weaver being out.
Right?
Like there's not that same level of confidence coming in from all of their relievers. Loizaga looks different. Even Fernando Cruz isn't locating like he was earlier before the injury.
Yeah,
that's another thing I want to discuss too at some point later in the week. I wonder if they brought him back either A little too soon or B that injury is lingering a little bit because Fernando Cruz has not been the same since he's been back.
Yep,
he hasn't.
All right, so that was frustrating. What are you going to do? They have the day off.
Beat the Royals.
They have the travel day to Kansas City, and then maybe they can go back to Fenway and take 2 out of 3. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Those are the teams, those are the games that wind up being a little more important, though. The divisional matchups.
Right. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. You can also join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description. You'll get text from us. You can text us questions, comments, reaction to trades and signings. We send out the lineups during the season, roster moves, and any breaking news so you don't have to check social media. There's a 14-day free trial. Coming up, it's Miners Monday. We'll tell you what's going on down on the farm next.
Are you looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller for longer. And there's a variety of great flavors. It includes the jalapeno lime, dill pickle, chili roasted, and smoky barbecue. And you can also get them lightly salted or unsalted if your taste buds aren't quite ready for those bold flavors yet. Now, personally, I'm a no-shells variety kind of guy. It's the perfect grab-and-go snack for the busy days. And whether I'm snacking at my desk, on a road trip, or I just need a quick protein boost, they're always my go-to. And if you love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch, the in-shell options are also a classic favorite. And whether you're running in between meetings or dropping off the kids, Wonderful Pistachios are the snack that works as hard as you do. So get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more.
So we have a new way for you to leave questions on Fan Mail Friday on YouTube. If you go to our channel's page and you click on posts, you will see where I tell you what the deadline is for Fan Mail Friday. I've been doing Thursday at 5 p.m. That seems like a good time for you guys. So just leave the questions below that post. And by the way,
the opening picture on our page is always so flattering.
Oh, yes.
Always.
Yeah, like if you freeze us at certain moments, you'll see some funny faces.
It's great.
When I'm editing the show, sometimes I take screenshots. I never show you though. I should show you some of the shots.
Yeah, it's a high level of blackmail that you have on me.
Yes.
Yes. Concerning.
Yep. All right. So it's Miners Monday. Today we're just going to talk about Scranton, Somerset, and Hudson Valley. I apologize to the lower levels. We will get to you next week. There's some stuff we need to discuss with the higher levels. So Cam Schlitter had a strong outing on Saturday, even though Scranton lost the game 4-1. He threw 5 innings, gave up 1 run on 2 hits. He walked 3, but he struck out 8, which is pretty good.
He's been their most impressive pitching prospect throughout the entire year, really, and throughout the entire farm, to be honest with you. I don't think he sees major league time. I don't think they're ready for that yet, but the strikeout numbers are up. He's developing exactly like they try to develop one of their pitchers. Kind of akin to what you're seeing out of Will Warren, right? High strikeouts. Will Warren's issue has been keeping the walks down, but they love to develop their pitchers to throw a lot of strikeouts. It's a lot of modern day baseball, very analytical. So they're getting that out of Schlitter so far this year. Truly, he's been great.
Yep. Jesus Rodriguez. We spoke about him last week, I believe, where people were thinking they should put him at third. Mm-hmm. No. He had 8 walks in the month of May. The entire month of May, he had 8 walks. He got his 8th walk of June on Sunday in their game.
Ridiculous. Where it's
Yeah.
June 8th.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically a walk a day
Just absolutely.
is how that's going for him. So I thought that was a funny stat because at first it was 7 walks and he almost caught up to the 8 because I only had Saturday stats. And then I looked again and saw that he walked again on Sunday and thought, wow, that's pretty amazing. Right-hander JT Brubaker, who's making his way back to the Yankees. They got him from the Pirates through 2 2/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, didn't give up a run, walked 2, struck out 4 in Scranton's 7-2 win on Sunday. He started his rehab assignment with Scranton on May 18th, so there's only 10 days left in his assignment, and he needs to be moved after 30 days, and it's believed it's because it wasn't an arm injury. I think with arm injuries, they're allowed to extend you if they need to, but he had the rib issue. So I think he's going to have to make it up to the Yankees. So
yeah, I think they're a little concerned too, because not making it back to the major league level, if it's not an arm injury at this point, I mean, he's been down there for a while.
Yeah.
And I know with pitchers, it's kind of hard to like get them, they can't really necessarily get working every day. It's got to have off time. I understand all that, but that's a long amount of time to be spending in the minors on a rehab assignment.
Yeah. Then again, it's not that easy coming back from a rib injury.
No, and you're afraid of other things coming too. But also, the Yankees are kind of clogged up, but they did have an opening with Weaver out of the bullpen too. So you'd think that at a certain point they'd be able to bring another bullpen arm back. But yeah, this is, and especially with Stanton coming back, this could be a concern. By the way, I don't know if you had in here the Stanton update, but they're looking at within the next 10 days now.
Yeah. I saw something where he was supposed to be starting a rehab assignment soon.
Yeah. So that's going to clog up another roster spot for sure.
I don't envy the people who have to make those decisions. Do you?
No. A little bit, because they make a lot more money than us. But other than
actually,
that,
okay, yes. In that sense, I do. But in the other sense, I don't, because I wouldn't want that responsibility.
Tough choice.
Yeah. Moving down to Somerset, righty Carlos LaGrange made his Double-A debut against the Binghamton Rumble Ponies, otherwise known as the Mets Double-A team, on Friday night. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Not that bad.
No.
That's a quality start, right? 6 innings, 3 runs.
Yeah, that is the definition of a quality start, actually. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. That's the exact definition of a quality start. That's what you want. You don't want 5 innings and 3 runs. You want 6 innings and 3 runs. So yeah, good for him. It's not that easy making your debut in the next level and doing okay. I mean, I'm sure there's nerves no matter what level you move up to. And
plus trying to not laugh the entire time playing a team called the Rumble Ponies is pretty tough too. What a terrific name for a minor league team. Why not have fun with it?
Good segue. Speaking of terrific names, Rock Riggio hit his first Double-A home run and first Double-A double. Say that twice. And went 2 for 5 against the aforementioned Rumble Ponies on Friday night. Then he just kept hitting home runs. He hit 2 on Sunday, which means 4 in his last 3 games. He was 3 for 4 with 2 home runs and a single on Sunday for Somerset. Yeah. He was drafted by the Yankees in 2023, and his name caught my eye. Like, honestly, when I saw that, I was like, Rock Riggio, that's so cool. And then when I looked him up and I saw that his name is actually Rock, I couldn't believe it. Because his name is actually Rock. It's Rock Jack Riggio. Now, if you think of a baseball player named Rock Riggio, what era would you think he was from?
Definitely early 1900s. The only way that it would make it more 1900s is if you put a weird saying in the middle of his name. So if it was like Rock the Hard Hitter Riggio, then it would make a little more sense.
Yeah. Like if he played in the 50s, it could be like Rock and Roll Riggio.
Yeah. Rock the Storm Runner Riggio, something ridiculous. That's what they all had. They all had those crazy nicknames back then.
Mm-hmm. I kind of wish they'd bring those back. I mean, I know some guys do have nicknames, but they're just the nickname. Like, it's not their name with the nickname stuck in the middle, like a middle name.
Yeah, let's have a little more fun with it. Speaking of which, did you see on Sunday Night Baseball the on-field interview with Jazz Chisholm? Just completely, like, I don't know if you watched that broadcast because you're not usually a fan of that broadcast.
I was listening to things.
they had Jazz doing infield as he was fielding third base with the mic on, like, which I think is the dumbest thing ever, because these
do
guys
that in the All-Star game. Don't do it in a regular game.
It's too gimmicky. They're playing in a regular season game. These guys are not focused on whatever dumb softball question these guys are fielding at them. It makes no sense at all. But the Jazz wound up having an error in that inning. Wound up throwing the ball away when he had the error at third base, the throwing error, which is just ridiculous. It just, I don't know. Jazz Chisholm Jr. has such a vibrant personality. It is like, I know when he came over, people were kind of like aggravated with the way that he handles baseball, and they kind of feel like if you're going to have that attitude, you need to hit 300 and you need to be this unbelievable player. I'm sorry. The more and more he's been a Yankee, I love the attitude he brings to the game.
Yeah,
I really do. He's just all about having fun out there.
Yep. Continuing with Somerset, Spencer Jones is still striking out too much. His strikeout rate for the season as of Sunday is 38.1. In 2024, it was 36.8.
Yeah, and for you Yankee fans that are dying for him to get called up at some point in the future, if that doesn't change, he's not going to get called up because that 38% right now in Double-A is going to be 60% in the major leagues.
Yeah, that's a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah.
And finally, Jake Cousins is rehabbing in Hudson Valley. We told you about that last week. He threw 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, no earned runs. With a walk and 3 strikeouts on Saturday for Hudson Valley. So that's another guy who could be coming back to the bullpen relatively soon.
The only problem is they just don't have the roster spots for these guys.
Yeah,
they're all coming back and they're all becoming available, but there's no spots available for them.
It depends on who's up. Is De Los Santos still up? Does he have options? Because if he has options, he would probably be sent down to Scranton.
They'll move him, and
I would think.
Yeah,
it's
gonna be tough. They got guys coming back and not a lot of spots to fill, so it's not gonna be easy.
Again, we envy your money. We don't envy your job, like your actual job.
100%.
Like I said at the top, next week we'll update you on the lower levels, which would include the Florida Coast Yankees, who actually combined with the Tigers on, I think it was Sunday. I think it was a 13-12 game. It was a little crazy. Yeah. And we'll let you know about the Dominican Summer League teams, because there's 2 of them, the Yankees and the Bombers. So we'll let you know about them next week. Coming up, looks like ABS is coming to the big leagues in 2026. We'll tell you what Rob Manfred said about that, and we'll tell you what we think about that next.
Have you ever decided that last minute to head to a baseball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize that you want to be in the stands. And that's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. And with the money you save on tickets, you can always have the availability to splurge on food, drinks, merchandise, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Gametime makes all that possible. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. The prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals. There's clear seat views and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying tickets. And Gametime is also the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB, making it easy to browse the app for tickets to games at Yankee Stadium. And Gametime has last-minute tickets and zone deals for those big savings you're all looking for. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app today and create an account and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. And not only do we cover your team every day, but we're giving you instant episodes after every single game now. Check out the Locked On Yankees postcast. It's hosted by Jay Berman right here on the Locked On Yankees podcast feed, as well as your streaming channel on YouTube. Get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On Yankees postcast.
So this came up last week. Ruben, one of our insiders, asked us about it for Fan Mail Friday, but I figured we'd dedicate more time to it because this is a big deal. But we knew it was coming. We just didn't realize that it was going to come this soon because we thought maybe they'd put it off a little more. But ABS, which they were testing out in spring training, looks to be coming to the majors in 2026. So it's not far away.
Big step, major indictment on the umpires. I wonder what comes out of the umpires union in the next coming days, if there's a statement made by them, because they're probably aggravated this has been introduced. I will say this before we get into the nooks and crannies of what happened in this story. If you guys out there, and I'm assuming a lot of our listeners do follow other sports, because of the finals going on, you've seen both Gary Bettman of the NHL and Adam Silver talk publicly about their leagues in the last couple of days here. And Stacey, I know you've noticed this, and I wonder how much our listeners notice this. When you listen to other commissioners talk about their sport, notice how they give answers to things. They don't give out blatant information before it needs to be announced. They don't, tip their hand before it needs to be announced. The other owners are aware. They are both working with TV partners that are giving them billions of dollars to grow the sport and publish their games. And they are also working with multiple unions, like players' unions, the owners group, and umpire unions in this case, where you don't want to necessarily tip your hand and give away too much information before things are signed and printed on the dotted line. And Major League Baseball's commissioner seems to be unaware of how to handle those situations. I just want to make that known and keep that in mind when you listen to the story that Stacey takes us through, because it's very different how other commissioners in other sports handle their sport compared to this.
Yeah. So Commissioner Rob Manfred said Wednesday, so this was last Wednesday, that he plans to introduce a proposal to Major League Baseball's competition committee that would bring the automated ball strike system to Major League Baseball in 2026. Barring a change of heart inside Manfred's group, ABS appears likely to arrive in the big leagues next year. The league office has enough votes on the 11-person committee, which is also made up of player representatives and one umpire, to push through what it wants.
And that's the only umpire opinion that gets given in this. That's the thing that people have a problem with, and the umpires union is going to have a problem with.
Yeah.
And when it comes to an umpires union, they can make a public stink. That's my point here, is you'd kind of want to have this. You'd want to announce this when it gets passed.
Right.
When it's over and done with. Not let the umpire union know, hey, we're voting on this coming up. So if you want to create a public stink that's really big, you have your opportunity now.
Yeah. So just like in spring training, human umpires would still make the vast majority of ball strike calls, but teams would start each game with 2 challenges to the umpire's opinion. Now, the thing about this is, who was it that got thrown out of a game last week because he tapped his helmet because he didn't like a call that an ump made?
I forgot who it was, but this did happen. Oh, I forgot. I remember seeing the highlight too. Like,
yeah, was it someone from the Rays?
Yeah, I think it was, because he tapped his. Basically, what happened is they had the ABS system in spring training, and if you disagreed with the call, you would tap your helmet, and they would notify the signal, "Hey, review the call," and they would send it down. It was a very quick, seamless thing.
It was. It was so quick. It would replay on the scoreboard, and immediately, like the tennis, in and out. Like it was basically like that.
That's the perfect way to describe it. It's basically exactly like how tennis, how they know it's on the line and stuff. But in a Rays game last week, I forget the player, but I figured out. Whoever it was tapped his helmet after a bad call by the umpire. Very obnoxious, but very great, because the call was horrendous.
Well, what was even funnier was he was kind of cleaning off his helmet and then he tapped it. Like it was blatant.
He was clearly being a jackwagon, but this is gonna bother the umpires. It is, because it's an indictment on them that Major League Baseball's moving this quick on this.
Do a better job then.
No, you're right. You want more right, because they're so bad at their jobs, unfortunately, that this is why this happens at this point. Honestly,
because my brother was telling me that, oh gosh, who was it? Was it Laz Diaz or who was it? Someone had a strike call that was 7 inches off the plate.
It was Laz Diaz.
Diaz, 7 inches off the plate.
Unacceptable.
That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. And I know these guys are throwing a lot harder. The balls are moving a lot. I mean, the game is not the same as it was 20, 25 years ago. And some of these umpires have been around that time, that long, and they've seen the game change, and they've seen how fast these pitchers are coming in. But there's no excuse for 7 inches outside.
But you know what, too? Like catchers, pitchers, any other position players around, it's not like other officials aren't dealing with this in other sports. Those sports have evolved too. The NFL was a predominant running league for years and years. Now all they do is throw the ball, and the referees have, I'm not going to say fully have adjusted, but have somewhat managed to adjust to the way that the NFL has changed the way the game is played. All these sports have changed. Hockey's quicker than it's ever been. Basketball is more athletic than it's ever been, and somehow other umpires are able to adjust. For some reason, Major League Baseball umpires just complain that the times have changed.
So Manfred said this. It's a long quote. Bear with me. My single biggest concern is working through the process and deploying it in a way that's acceptable to the players. There's always going to be things around the edges that we need to work through and whatever. And I want them to feel like we respected the committee process and that there was a full airing of concerns about the system and an attempt to address those concerns before we go forward.
Yeah, that's why there's one player representative in the 11-person committee that gets to vote on this. That makes sense. You see what I'm saying of why these quotes are just
no, there's one umpire. There's a couple of, there's more player representatives than one umpire.
It's just he reveals things before they need to be revealed publicly.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make, why are you tipping your hand as a commissioner of a league?
He's not that good at being the commissioner of the league. It's gotten to the point where some people actually, and I can't believe they wish this, but some people were like, I kind of miss Bud Selig because Rob Manfred.
Well, I mean, it goes as far back as the comment about the World Series trophy, how it's just a piece of stupid metal. That was the quote they gave. He completely devalued the most prized possession of his sport, which is not something you see out of most commissioners.
Right.
It's just the things that come out of his mouth and things that he says. And this is a big storyline in baseball, Stacey, is the ABS system. Like, baseball's been, umpired or refereed, for lack of a better word, the same way for the last 130, 140 years. And now we're making a big change to that. And you're just acting like it's casual, whatever. And we're going to announce these things.
He's a little too flippant about it.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. It's what a terrible way to manage your sport.
Right. And one quick, incredible stat from around the league before we leave. Tarek Skubal has 95 strikeouts and 3 walks in his last 11 starts.
He's impossibly great.
That is
so good.
Ludicrous. He's the first pitcher to record 90-plus strikeouts and 3 walks or fewer in an 11-game or 11-start span in at least the last 125 seasons.
Think about the strikeout masters that have pitched in the major leagues in the last 125 seasons. I mean, the great Sandy Koufax 5-year stretch that he had, the Nolan Ryan stretches with Texas and with California, and the fact that he was able to do this, unbelievable. Also, the positive note with Tarek Skubal, unlike Paul Skeens, this is a young, up-and-coming, elite-level arm that will likely stay with his homegrown team because they will pay him.
Yeah.
The Tigers do open the pocketbook when it's necessary. Yep. They don't always spend, but when they need to and they want to keep a homegrown player, the Ilitch family generally has no problem opening up a pocketbook. The Pirates, on the other hand, don't do that.
Yeah, another team that doesn't seem to really do that too much. We're going to talk about on tomorrow's show because we'll be previewing the series with the Royals. It's an ALDS rematch, and the Royals aren't really known for opening up their pocketbook too much.
They paid Bobby Witt, but that's about it.
Right.
Unintentional rhyme there. I don't know why I did that.
Hey, we love that, don't we? We like segues, we like rhymes, we like puns, we like all that stuff on this show. Speaking of that, thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. You'll see Brian's face pretty much every night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. You can find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So that'll do it for this Monday edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.